Well, hello the new, and good afternoon from me, Leonard Wells, broadcasting as usual from Studio B here in the Giggle Mill in Haslingden, north of Manchester in the UK. As you may be aware, Studio B entitles me to the undivided attention of the finest resident studio engineer in the business, that very sweet chap, Adolf Apfelstrudel from Berchtesgaden in Bavaria. Unfortunately, because he's a strict disciplinarian, he will only permit me 12 digital megaburgers per broadcast. This means I cannot have time to let you see and hear my world-famously forgettable rendition of Nessun Dorma. Normally, Adolf will never appear in front of the camera when it's live because of the wounds he got during the WAR. But every now and again he likes to let everybody know that he's still alive and kicking, and he likes to wave. So I think today's one of the days. Did you say you wanted to wave at the audience, Adolf? Come and wave. Come on. That's it. Wave, 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 wave. Thank you, Adolf. You're very privileged, ladies and gentlemen, and you will have noticed that his hand was gloved. Again, this is because of what he got during the WAR. If I mention the word properly, he pulls the plug on me and then goose steps out into the night. My little tale today concerns a butcher's and a dog. A little dog, cute little dog, walked into a butcher's shop and gives a little bark, and then he walks up and down looking at all the meat on display, sniffing, and eventually he nods at and gives a little bark at the counter where there are some lamb chops. So the butcher, thinking the dog wouldn't know any better, he picks the worst quality of lamb chops, but the dog spots what he's doing and gives a little bark and makes sure that he gets the best chops in the shop. So the butcher weighs them out and he asks the dog for £6. So the dog barks furiously until the butcher agrees it should really have only been £4. The dog hands over a £5 note which he had in his collar, and the butcher gives him 40 pence change. So once again the dog barks until he gets the correct change. The dog then picks up the package with the nice best quality lamb chops in and walks out of the shop. So the butcher's extremely impressed by this dog, and he decides he'd like to own one as clever as that. So he quickly closes the shop and follows the dog to safe distance. After 10 minutes of turning left and turning right, the dog goes up the steps of our house. When he gets to the top, it shakes its head in frustration, puts down the lamb chops, and standing on its hind legs it rings the doorbell. When the door opens, a tall man in his underpants starts to yell obscenities at the dog, and the dog sort of whimpers a little bit. So at that, the butcher jumps out, jumps up the steps and begs the man to stop. "Oh, don't do that," he said. "This is such an intelligent dog. Surely he doesn't deserve this kind of treatment." He then went on to explain how the dog had bought the best quality lamb chops in the shop and insisted on only paying the advertised price. What more could you ask in a dog? The man looked at the butcher and he said, "Oh, intelligent he may be," he says, "but this is third blooming time this week he's forgotten his keys." Thank you and good night, folks.